In this video, we're going to focus more on the console log, where we can show the data very nicely of an array. As you can see in here, right now we have this data here, which is from our chart, basically an array. But what is very interesting here in the console log, you can see it is now organized with the index and the matching values. And if I select this, you will see eventually here is exactly the same, except it's more concise. However, this here can help you to understand how and which values matching together, and it's nicely organized. So let's explore how to do this in JavaScript. In this video, we're going to show you how to show arrays organized in the console log in JavaScript. And this video will be a short video, but it can be extremely useful for seeing if you have an array and getting it organized. Because sometimes you have an array and it's quite hard to read because you have a whole list of information. So let's start to do this, because this is a quite useful item I recently discovered. So first of all, what we're going to do is we're going to chartjs3.com, getting started. We're going to just get some default code here, and you might notice this here. For some reason my Google Chrome gives this error. Anyway, what I really want is I want to grab this chunk of code here, and this code here is just a default code. I'm just going to paste it in here, and once I got this, I will cut this out, put it in here. Here we are. Save this, refresh. There you are. Alright, so normally, if you've noticed quite often, I would use here, for example, Console.log. And then here, if you would like to have an array, we could, for example, grab this specific array here. To get here, basically we could go from data to data, or data sets and then data, or let's get data and then labels. So you get the labels here. You will see some differences later on. So you say here, and then data dot labels, and if I save this, refresh, open up the console log, you will see here now we get an array. It indicates an array and it has like this, which is fine. If you have a lot of values or very long characters in here, sometimes it will be a bit more messy. And what we can do in that case, we could just organize that. How do we organize that? Well, we can convert it into a table. And this is a very interesting item, and this is very easy for me also to show you every time if I'm going to explain. So all we can do here is say console.log.table. If I save this now and refresh, you can see here now a large difference. Here it shows all the array values, but here it gets it in a very nice presentable table, where you can see here the index number, which instantly explains here which index number matches which value, and we get all of this here. So this is quite nice. You can do all kind of stuff with this. So another item as well, what is very useful, because for example, what would happen if we just only get a specific item? Let's say we get the labels, we get a string value. Will this be converted into a table? Well, let's try out and you can see it yourself. So we want to say data set 0, and then we say just here dot label. So if I refresh here now you can see it instantly recognizes it is just a single string value and shows you the only value here. So this is very useful as well. And finally, what I want to do is I want to show you the data, because here you will see something as well, which is basically being able to see what is under the hood in Chartjs as well. Let's copy this. We go from data to data sets, and then data, data sets, and then data. And if I save this now and refresh, you can see here what we have is basically an index, the value, and we can even assign a listener here. So here we could basically put in a function and do something, just trigger it and then adjust the item. So it will recognize this, and this is very useful for us as well to understand what is more available in Chartjs. Because Chartjs usually will indicate, like the other one, it will only show the data if I get only the labels. If I convert this into a table, save that. Here it only shows the index and the value, so no specific function that is possible here. So this here is quite interesting. It saves us time. And what we could do here, let's see if we could just get the data, and let's see if we get the object. Let's see what we get for a result. Save this here, refresh, and you can see here now we get a huge amount of items here, and of course it's very compact and concise, so it doesn't really work here. This is not the best way to do it, because it's more showing an object. The best way here is to play around with arrays. And this is very useful for me, especially to explain in my other videos that we have an array, and we can instantly check and confirm the index number with that.